What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. We're going to be checking out some billet stuff today. This one's come all the way from Game of Thrones, Mad Sweden. So let's get this thing unboxed and have a look. Looks epic, but there's one more box. Let's have a look at that. Alright, so in the first box we had the Mad Sweden Billet Oil Pan. It has its own baffle system, which is pretty cool, making sure that you've got plenty of oil for the pickup. These guys have thought about absolutely everything when it comes to this particular oil pan. There's even an extra port in there so that you can use it to drain a catch can or multiple catch can system into. So it's pretty well designed, and obviously the baffling will help a lot for your racing purposes. And then we've got the billet valve covers for the R35 GTR. Obviously, being billet, they were able to design it with some larger outlets for your breather hoses, and also implement a different baffling system for the breather system so that it's better than OEM. The kit comes with everything that you need to get it installed onto your vehicle. So all the baffles are there. You've got the special O-rings that go around the top baffling system, which you'll see a bit later in this video. There's new seals for your spark plug tubes as well, which you can see here, and all the nuts and bolts and everything like that to get it all installed. Okay, so let's have a look at the baffles that's being used for the breather system. So pretty straightforward, just a couple of metal baffles that will go underneath on the underside of the valve covers, and then they get bolted down. You can see there's a little bit of baffling on the top side as well, and then it's a two-piece system, so you can service them, although I don't know how often you're going to be pulling off the inlet manifold to actually service them, but the option's there for, I guess, your race cars or people who are regularly pulling apart, parts of their engine and making sure everything's working well. Okay, so back to the oil pan. Let's have a look at how the baffle system sort of works. So basically just slots in like that, and there's 4 bolts on the corners that hold it down. This is great if you don't have a dry sump system and you're tracking the car, or even drag racing. You'll see some benefits. Obviously not as good as a dry sump system, but for those who aren't 100% dedicated to race, something like this would be great for your street/weekend track day car. These are all very beautifully made, so let's take a moment and just admire the quality of the craftsmanship on display here. It's really automotive art. Okay, let's assemble the valve covers because they're about to go on to an engine build. To start off with, I'm going to be assembling the Mad Sweden billet rocker covers. So first things first, a little bit of Loctite in the holes for the breather baffles. Then we're going to bolt them down. I probably should have put a cloth underneath it first, but oh well. With the underside baffle completed, now I'm going to move on to the baffle on the top side, but first I'm just going to give it a bit of a clean just to make sure there's no dust and debris sticking around. The Mad Sweden covers use this type of O-ring type of sealing system. Pretty straightforward to insert, very easy to work with, but you do need to stretch them out a little bit just to give it a little bit of extra play when you are inserting them in. I learnt this from when I was trying to do the sump, and the seal on that one kept popping out, but after a little bit of stretching it went straight on, so I knew that I had to stretch them a little bit for this. And that's all done, nice and firmly in place. So next up, I need to put the top piece on where the breather fittings will eventually go on. And that's how it's done. So it looks really good, really easy to complete yourself at home with a few simple tools. It is an improvement over stock, however, probably not necessary for a lot of builds. However, for this particular build, since everything is brand new from the ground up, it just made sense to go with these. Similarly, for the other side, you pretty much repeat the process. Start with Loctite, put the baffle in, bolt that down, and then do the top side with the O-ring and put the top side part back on. So here you go, I'll let you watch the process. that's the other side now completed. So the billet rocker covers come with a different seal for the spark plug tubes, which you can see here. They do come with the kit, and I'm just testing just to make sure they are a good fit. In the end, I'll need to use a little bit of lubricant to actually get them in there because it is pretty tight. So I'm just checking them here before we go to the shop and get them put on. If you want to see these get installed, check out my engine build series playlist. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.